Do not attempt to adjust your screen. Forbes DVD Live is taking over. I'm trying to make sure my focus is right and all that. But introduce yourself to the people.
I am Tashera Simmons.
And where do they know you from? Definitely.
Well, they will definitely know me from the famous rapper DMX.
So I wanted to ask you, Tashera Simmons, why keep the last name?
Oh, because my kids,
Okay.
all of my kids are Simmons. And, I mean, until I remarry, then maybe, just because, I got to change. I hate my last name. I used to hate my maiden last name.
Oh, so you don't like your maiden name at all?
I was, when I got married, I was like, oh, good, now I could change this name.
Yeah. So, wow, where do we begin? The books. Let's talk with the books.
The books. What do you mean, like why or where?
The first book.
Well, this is my first book. It took me like 5 years to do.
So, I always thought you put out a book already?
Everybody, because I've been talking about doing this book for like the past 5 years.
Okay, so all right, you coming out with the book then?
I'm coming out finally.
The title is?
You think you know, but you have no idea.
Wow. And the phone is ringing. I knew the phones was going to blow up, but we're not going to take no callers yet. We'll take all of that when we get the chance. But, so... Call from Thomas. Something about the book. Give us an excerpt from the book that's like, wow. Call from Thomas Andre. I know it's like...
Well, I open it up with this crazy story that actually I never thought it was really that crazy till I was out the situation.
Yeah.
So, when you live in it, it was just my life. Where, X's manager, which was publicized, but they didn't know the whole details to it, but X's manager, I was like 7 months pregnant, and X's manager comes to my house looking for X. I'm like, look, he's not here, he's at a hotel. They're like, he got a show in 2 or 3 days. They panicking. X is, up there in the dark, because that's what I used to call it. And I'm like,
Dark Man X.
Dark Man X. I'm like, and it was so sad because at that time I was so immune. He was only in the game for like a year, and he was just like, I need you to go over there and get him. He needs to, whatever he's doing. He's been in that room for like 3 days, and we need to calm him down. And everybody used to be scared to go. When he was in that zone, niggas didn't really want to mess with him because, he was paranoid. That's what came with that drug, So he would probably have a gat in his lap or something. It was like, so for some reason, not for some reason, I guess, X would always, when I came to the door, he always felt comfortable. And he knew that, he trusted me.
Yeah.
He was safe, exactly. So 7 months pregnant, I'm like, oh my God, all right. So I'll go over there with the manager. When we knock on the door, X lets us in. He's in this beautiful, like, 1-bedroom suite. But you can't even enjoy the look of it because it's, as soon as you get in, it's this smell that just makes you want to throw up. And the cloud, I can't tell you how dark that cloud is that comes with that drug. You know what I'm saying? So the whole vibe was just twisted, and he opens up the door with the gun, and I'm like, I'm not even phased. I'm like, come on,
man. Here we go again.
Yeah, here we go again.
Here we go again.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, mind you, the manager, he ain't used to this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I used to get kind of wake-up calls, when I used to be around regular people, and they used to be in a situation and look shook, like nervous, grown men. Like, and he wasn't really from the street, so he's looking at me like he's waving his gun around and, yo, somebody, y'all seen that person? Somebody's out there, they following me, this and that. And I'm like, Earl, there's nobody following you. We need to go. You've been 3 days up in this room. We got to go. So he's like totally ignoring me. He go back in the bathroom doing his thing. The manager's looking at me like, we got to go. We got to go. We got to get him out of here. Like, can you get him out of here? So I'm getting annoyed. So I'm like, yo, I'm pregnant. The smell is going to affect the baby. We got to go. Like, I'm kind of losing it, though. So X finally packs up. And he has his book bag, and he has like his gun in the bag, but he's holding it, and we're like speeding out. So the manager's like, so we get downstairs, and this big convention's going on. I'm like, oh my God! So because the whole time he's nervous, he's sweating, he's nervous. He's like, somebody's following me, and I'm so used to it that I'm just like, come on, let's get you in this car. So we get down to there, and he's like panicking when he sees all the people, and he was like, yo, Tashera, somebody's following me. I'm telling you, they this and that. And then the manager's like, about to lose it, like scared to death. Next thing you know, we hear a pop. And the manager falls on the floor. And I'm like, what happened? So X is like, I told you somebody's following me. And I see blood all on the floor.
He shot the manager? Damn.
So he's like, somebody shot him. I told you somebody following me. Mind you, I goes down to the floor to see where the manager was hit at, which was the foot. And you see the bottom of X's book bag with smoke and a hole at the bottom.
It went through the book bag.
Yeah, and he's like,
which means he had to have his hand on the gun in the book bag.
In the book bag, and it wasn't on safety. So I'm like, oh my God. So the manager is like, so now it's mad attention going on. I'm like, yo. The manager was just like, take him, just go, because they call the police.
Yeah.
We runs out on an expedition, jumps in. He like ready for war. He like, yo, he not even in his right frame of mind. Mind you, I'm in my right frame of mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But I'm trying to keep it together because I'm like, you know, I don't want him to lose it. So we jumps in the car. I'm like, let me drive. He going off. No, I'm driving.
Now you accessory.
Right, I don't know, might be manager,
yeah, he could have bled
murder,
to
right,
death,
bled to death right there. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
You're a getaway driver, you're accessory, you're harboring them.
Yeah. And this is
and you're pregnant.
And I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be famous. We ain't just a no name now, and it's still in the hood. You DMX now.
Yeah.
You in, like, you got belly out. I'm like, yo, like, you bugging right now. So as we flying, and the bridge is coming up, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. Like, please, God, please, I need to live. I got one son, and I have another child on the way. Like, please, I'm just praying the whole time. So I just finally, because I told him, I said, yo, throw the gun out the window. Like, we're gonna get killed. Like, and he's like, no. And he's just like still looking around crazy. So I just lost it. It was like, I don't want to die. And then he was like, yo, why you getting so dramatic? And pulls over and lets me drive. And I'm like, so we were like right before, when we got to the bridge, we seen like this whole like police, like you know, like when a checkpoint
roadblock,
and it was because of that, because like mad police cars was coming in as we was coming out. We got up there, and soon as we got, like, we were the last car before the roadblock, and they looked real quick. They seen me, and they looked at him. He like kind of was like leaned back. And he let us go. And I knew right then and there that was nothing but God.
Wow.
And that was just an intense, real crazy moment for me. And I opened up the book like that.
So, how long were y'all together?
Altogether,
that has nothing to do with marriage. Like, how long have you known the nigga and was like, this is my man?
25 years.
And how many years of it was it chaotic? Was it ever good?
You know what? It was good, but I'm gonna keep saying as I look back now, because it's been 8 years, and now after I'm out of it, I'm like, damn, like, it was good, but I don't even. You're good and my good. It's like it's two different things. It was civil, you know. I mean, when we first started out, to be honest with you, I mean, we met at 11. 18 is when we finally officially got together, and I would say maybe the first 2 years of that was beautiful. I mean, we were connecting. He was on another path. He wasn't really messing with the drugs like that. Like, I guess he had tried it already, but he wasn't messing with it at the time. But the first year of us being together, not two, is when he started disappearing again, and I guess he was getting his little money up from his tapes, and I didn't know the signs. So the first year, it was always, to be honest with you, I mean, when it was good, but it was just.
So, when did he start getting high?
You know, someone laced his weed when he was 14.
Wow.
So it was a Woolies.
So he smoked the ruler, yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't know, and it was an older guy that was his friend, and he
did some fuck shit
and fucked him up, and he always talks about that, but I was just like, yo, like, it's 10 years later, like, you need to, like, stop, like, what you gonna do about it now? He tricked you into this drug now that got you fucked up, but when you gonna get it together, though? Like,
so, when the public sees DMX, we see this strong, black, masculine guy who don't give a fuck. He take his shirt off, he barks, he goes all the way in, and he pours his heart out to his music. What do you see when you see him?
You know what? I see that because it's definitely him. Those are some of the things, like when I'm dating him, that was what, like, like separated him from the rest of the boys that I was dealing with. He had so much substance. He had a big heart. He dreamed really big, you know, because he came from a very troubled past. So he wasn't on no fake stuff. He was real, like, and that's what he shows in his music. And don't get me wrong, like, that is DMX. That is what he shows in his music, is who he is. But then there's this other side, you know, that is just
dark, man.
Dark. You know, yeah, it's this dark man X. So it's like, actually, I used to love seeing him being himself. I feel like that's the only time when he really comes alive.
When he's on the stage.
Is when he's on the stage. But then it's like, and that's what everybody sees, and that's why it was hard for me to come out for a long time, because I'm like, people gonna think I'm this bitter black woman, because we've been together forever. He always has talking highly of me.
Always.
But it's like, once he started getting into that fame and that fortune, and that his head just blew off his neck, and I saw that, and I used to try. Everybody had all the yes men, and I'm saying no. I became that enemy. And with the drugs combined with it, you know, I saw him gain in the world and lose his soul, literally, in front of my face. Because he was never always perfect. He was a street nigga. You know, he used to take things from dudes. But he had this heart, though. And I that's what I saw. I pulled the good out of him, and his family, his grandmother, everybody loved that. Like, they were like, this girl is not like any other girl you dated. But when that money and that all of that came, it just...
So you feel like he sold his soul?
You know what? Without him knowing it, because he would never agree with that.
Yeah.
But without him knowing it, I feel like he did. Well, when you say soul, sell your soul, he definitely lost his soul.
All right. Yeah.
He lost his soul.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say selling it. Yeah,
he
because
lost.
He would have never. I mean, they tried to get him to sell his soul a lot of times. You know, while he was coming up in the industry, and he never. He was just like, nah, I'll be selling myself out for that. So I would say he lost his soul.
So when you see him now, and he's praying and he's doing a prayer and everybody's bowing their head and, you know, everybody's believing him, and he says, God has got a path for me, and God is, do you look at that and be like, get the fuck out of here, like, you full of shit?
Now I do. Before, I used to.
Forbes DVD live every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on DTFradio.com.
You want to go and you can't log on to DTFradio.com? Just go to your mobile store and download the free TuneIn app. When you download that app, just search for DTF Radio, and you can listen to the show like that while you want to go. You don't even have to be in front of a computer.